Disney vacations, all-inclusive resorts, cruises and family trips to Idaho. Travel to your favorite place and have a celebration. Sandpiper Vacations.
Broadcasting from the Sandpiper Vacation Studio. Welcome to Parents' Night Out with no new friends. The comedy break every parent deserves. This is the podcast where parenting meets pure, unfiltered fun. Real, raw hilarity. It's your night out without the kids, where nothing is off limits. And we say what everybody else is thinking. Whether you're a parent or just need a good laugh, we've got the adult humor you crave. So kick back, relax, and get ready to let loose with us. This is Parents' Night Out with no new friends.
Tuck your kids into bed, pay the babysitter a little bit extra. It's time for Parents' Night Out with No New Friends. There are so many ways to connect with us. Just check out our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our really sweet merchandise and also join our clubhouse. Become a friend with benefits. That's our Patreon. For as low as $2 a month, you get all sorts of exclusive access, including cutting room floor, early release, and special entries into giveaways when we do them. We are recording live and streaming on the YouTube every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can see us record this thing live, uncut, uncensored. And then every other week, we go to the parks and we go live on the TikTok. That's at the parks no new friends or at the parks.no-new-friends. All the links are on our website. Just check that out. My name is Scott. I'm the host. With me, as always, the scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
Go Birds.
The Jewish American princess, Sarah.
Hello.
Our emotional support gay, Nick.
Who's a bird?
And our producer, Alex.
Hola. Hi. Alex, the producer, is very Caucasian.
Yes, Chris, congratulations. We will get a sports update later from Nick, but congratulations on your Eagles headed back to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Well, again, don't spoil the sports update.
Oh, okay. Sorry. We'll table the sports.
If you want.
We'll table the sports update until Nick's ready and has better internet connection. So while Nick's freezing, Chris, I have to tell you something. So,
what's this?
This week, I was teaching a class. Okay. And Sarah, you know that table touch, your managers go around and do table touches, right? You're familiar with that, right?
I know what that is.
Okay. But your managers probably don't, right?
Listen, I was a manager, so I had to know, but I get it. Yeah.
So most managers where I work don't know what a table touch is. So I developed this class to teach what a table touch is. And Chris, and any of you non-restaurant people, a table touch is essentially when the manager comes around to your table. Hey, how is everything?
It's the worst part of the meal. Nobody likes a table touch. The manager doesn't like it. The customer doesn't like it.
Our bosses like it.
Waiters. Yeah, exactly. The surveys like it. But it's a way to see if the server's doing what they're supposed to be doing and to check on the customer and make sure everything's good, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I'm really good at table touches. So my boss had me create this table touch class that I could present to all the other managers. So I worked very hard on it. When I say I've worked very hard on it, I put the information into ChatGPT and I had it create a presentation for me.
That's a great idea.
Brilliant idea. So this is like the 7th class that I've taught. Well, we have a new hotel manager at the hotel that I work at, and he decided that he's going to come into this class. Okay. And which is fine. The old hotel manager saw the same class. I'm a gifted public speaker. I do the safety meeting for the resort every single month. Like, this is not an issue for me. The problem is we started promptly at 2:02 p.m. Because I was waiting for him to show up and he was late. And so I just got started, and 2:30 he rolls in. So I'm halfway through this class, right? Chris, I don't know so I dropped a joke. And the joke did not land.
Oh, no.
Which is usually fine. I have jokes not land all the time. I lost my place and I sat there.
Oh, no.
Like Mitch McConnell for about 3 minutes.
Oh. People just start to feel bad for you and then they vote you back in. So that's perfect.
But here's the thing is if someone would have made fun of me, that would have at least been okay.
But nobody said anything.
Nobody said anything. It was silent for what felt like 3 minutes, but it was probably about 5 seconds. And I'm like, my inner monologue is saying, you idiot, say something. Say something. And I have the words on the piece of paper in front of me, and I cannot say anything. Nothing will come out of my mouth. And then finally, like after they tried to escort me off stage, just like Mitch McConnell, I finally come to and I start talking. So then I drop another joke, which also doesn't land.
Oh no.
And so then I start sweating. And I'm like, well, maybe it's just me. Nobody notices. One of my coordinators gets up, leaves the room, comes back with paper towels for me.
Oh. Do you remember the joke?
No, I don't. Everybody wants to know that because I've told this story and everybody wants to know what was the joke. And I'm like, I don't remember. That's the problem. And
was it inappropriate or was it just not good?
It just wasn't good.
Just wasn't good, I guess. But that same joke has landed 6 other times. Or I didn't care that it didn't land. Right.
But here's the thing. In every class that I teach, I have a plant in the class that knows when to give me the fake sympathy laughs. So they kind of
That's worse.
Yeah. What, Sarah?
I said that might be worse.
Yeah, but it primes everybody else. They're like, oh, we should be laughing, so that everybody starts laughing once they laugh.
You probably just blacked out after that moment for a second, because I get word vomit, which is probably worse. Like I dropped off food to a table the other day and the lady said, "Oh, beautiful." And I pulled yeah, but what about the omelet? And then it just kept coming out. And then she kind of looked at me, and the guy she was with is looking at me like, what the hell? And I said, get it? Because you said beautiful. And it just kept coming out. And I'm getting embarrassed for myself right now, like 2 weeks later. It's awful.
I've had that where I definitely put 2 words together into a new created word as I'm doing a table touch, and they look at like, I can already tell, because you have the guests who want to talk to you for hours, and you have to figure out an exit strategy. But then you have the ones who really could care less that you're there, and those are the ones that I try to make a joke in front of, and then I get tongue tied, and they look at me like I'm a moron.
Yeah, but then I forget that I'm talking to a table and not my kids or my husband. And I say, sorry about that. I think I just had a stroke. And then I immediately feel very, very insensitive just in case that person has had a stroke, because you never know. I would be that person. I'm the person who walks up behind the table and says, "Hi, ladies. How you doing?" It's a guy with a long ponytail. And I just end up walking away, just sweaty hands. Like, what did I do? This is ruined for the rest of the meal. Yeah, I do it all the time.
Well, luckily you won't have to worry about the mistaking males for females anymore. Thank you. Executive order number 35.
Oh my God.
Out of 5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, have you ever gotten tongue tied? You don't work, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah. So in college, I remember that I was giving a presentation and I would never prepare for anything. I would just always speak off the top of my head. That's how I would do well. Well, I was making the presentation. I just put pictures up. I was like, oh, I just, spew some bullshit during the class. And I get up there and for some reason, I just wasn't confident at all. I don't know if I was intimidated by my teacher or whatever. And I couldn't speak. And I just kept stuttering. And then the sweat came. And I remember looking at my teacher and saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm tripping balls up here." Which just made everything so much worse. Yeah, so it's definitely happened. It's definitely happened to me. Unfortunately, in front of a lot of people.
I hate that when we make things worse by just saying something.
Oh yeah.
Listen, I have a problem all the time at work where Podcast Scott comes out.
Is that drunk, Scott?
No. Someone said something like I couldn't find it. And then I said, "Oh yeah, my wife says that all the time." And I'm like, wait, why did I just say that? You can't say that at work. The fact that I have not been into HR's office yet is shocking to me. Nick, you've had to have some word vomit before.
I overtalk all the time with clients. I feel I probably won't get into it with this job, but I've worked in the restaurant industry before, and we had a celebrity come in.
Oh.
And this is in Lima, which, if you're not familiar with Lima, is where I'm from. We have a TV show named after us called Glee.
Speaking of which, I saw a very dark documentary about Glee.
Now I want to watch it.
Yeah, it's like all the dark shit that happened.
So I worked at Ruby Tuesday there, and we had a celebrity come in. I had no clue who she was. She was in town for some telethon thing or something back in the day. And she was from a soap opera. And I was a waiter, and I was fine before I knew that she was like a celebrity, but I was like 16, 17 at the time. So I come out, take the order and stuff. And she's like, I remember she said something about the fries, and she's like, oh, I hope they don't go to my ass or something like that. So cue me later at the end of the meal saying something about her ass. I was like, your ass looks just fine or something like that. I don't know. And,
oh my God.
Yeah, I got a $20 tip though. So
nice.
On a $50 check. It's not too bad.
$20 on 50?
Yeah.
Hell.
And
that's
everybody
awesome.
in the back, everybody in the back's like, go ask her questions about the show and stuff. I'm like, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. And they're like, celebrities always tip so much. Like, we live in Lima. Nobody tips anything here. And they're like,
nobody goes to Lima.
Yeah, nobody goes to Lima. So we're like, everybody's like, oh, maybe she'll tip like 100%, something like that. No, it was a 20. Not bad.
Yeah, but a 20 off 50 is pretty good.
Yeah.
Not with Remy Math. Anyway. So, Nick, you book a lot of vacations, and you've gone on a lot of vacations.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you've gone... I already know the answer, so I'm not going to form it in the form of a question, but you've gone to other countries.
Yes.
And other countries that may not necessarily be in tune with what is appropriate for Americans. So, right?
Maybe.
Have you ever witnessed anything where it's like, okay, to them, this is funny, but to us, it's offensive?
Yeah, World War II is pretty not right, in my opinion.
I agree.
I don't know. Maybe. All
right. So there is an Australian cruise line, and a bunch of Americans were on this cruise ship, and the custodial crew, the cleaning crew, it was like entertainment day where like all of the crew did their own little
everyone's favorite day when the custodians get dressed up to entertain.
Right. Are they dancing with like a broom and mops? Like,
so their costumes, as a lot of custodial costumes are a white pants and long sleeve white shirts and white gloves. Okay. So they didn't really give them any guidelines, and there was no real entertainment on this cruise. So they come out as upside down ice cream cones.
What does that even look like?
I did see this.
So essentially they took towels and cut the eye holes up, and their hat came to a point.
Oh,
that kind of ice cream cone.
And it was dark, so they were carrying torches so everyone could see.
Instead of the brooms, they were torches. So essentially, they paraded around as Klan members.
Oh.
Now, to the Australians, they're like, these are cute outfits. To the Americans on board, well, at least the liberals, they found that highly offensive.
I had no idea it was on a cruise ship. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was just people celebrating the election.
So I don't know the name of the cruise line, but Nick, have you ever seen something like this before?
I don't think I've really seen any. I don't know. I can't think of anything really.
P&O Cruises. That's the cruise line. P&O Cruises.
You know how what is Royal Caribbean? It's like Diamond, Sapphire, like as the thing. I heard with that cruise line, the top tier is the Cool Cruise Club, the KKK.
It's the it's the Crown and Anchor Society.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've been on a lot of cruises, and there's so many, like, the entertainment teams are from all over the world and stuff. And Disney, like, occasionally at the adults entertainment shows that they have on board, like, he gets confused on things that Americans say or do, I guess. So, I mean, I feel like it's normal, but not in that racist sense.
But to them, it was no big deal. They don't know. They had no idea. I love Japanese entertainment because they get into things that were cool in the United States like 10, 15 years ago. Have you ever, like, they karaoke is really big, but they're into music that was popular here like 10, 15 years ago. Sarah, you're a world traveler. Have you ever run into a situation that it's like, ooh, if this was at home, that would not be acceptable?
No, not necessarily like that. But I do remember that when I was 13, I traveled to Vietnam and I went to this little museum, and it was just all about the Viet Cong, and everything was just the paintings of Americans being slaughtered and stuff.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, oh, okay, cool. And they're just outside like, hi, how are you? Yep, have a great time. You know, and I'm like 13 years old and I have no idea what I'm in for. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe this wasn't meant for me. But nothing, I don't think, to that extent that I can remember.
Chris, what about you? You're not really a world traveler, but have you ever... Well, I mean, you went to Alaska and started calling everybody Eskimo.
Yeah, I was accepted in some parts of the town there, but
Same height.
yeah. No, I'm trying to think of a situation. Germany, they love us because we're the single only reason why they're not the laughing stock of the world. They're like we it's like the one country in the world where they America saved them from like lifelong humiliation. So, no, nothing out of the ordinary. I was even trying to make up a story, but the Viet Cong thing kind of threw me through a loop there.
I've told that story before about my world travels, and as soon as you said it, I'm like, yeah, that was pretty messed up.
Yeah. Also, what were you doing in Vietnam at 13 years old? Was it part of a sale?
I was living in Singapore.
Wait, what?
Wait, that's it. Okay.
Okay, I was living in Singapore, and then I traveled to different countries while I was living there.
I don't think we're just in the traveling part. Why were you living in Singapore?
Oh, well, my uncle lived in Singapore for a very long time, and he couldn't come to my bat mitzvah. So he said, since I can't come, do you just want to come out here and stay for a bit?
Wow.
And while I was out there, I just
What?
traveled a lot.
I laughed, Scott.
Thank you, Nick.
I tried to think of something quick when I'm talking about my 13-year-old self. So, but I got to travel all over the place. Listen, I've lived overseas 3 separate times. So that was the first time.
Wait, did your uncle hate you? He's like, hey, go check out this museum in Vietnam. They love Americans.
I don't know if he knew what we were walking into either. And honestly, my dad met me over there pre-Vietnam, and that could have been entirely his idea.
Wow, your
Like
uncle
before the
back
war?
Oh.
There was a lot of stops in different countries. He just managed to make it before that trip to Vietnam.
Sarah came back from the museum and she was still like in one piece. Like, damn, next week we're going to Palestine.
Oh my God.
Listen, I did live in Israel for some very scary times.
What? Okay, where all have you lived?
Technically, Singapore, Israel, and Indonesia.
Indonesia? People live there? Oh, things were just made there by kids. I didn't know people lived there.
I lived in Bali. I worked in a hotel. I worked in a resort when I was 18.
How old are you?
Thank you guys for asking. Appreciate it. I'll be 31 tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
What?
It's okay.
Because
it's
you're not on
okay.
Facebook anymore, Sarah.
Oh shit, my bad. I expected you to just remember without Facebook telling you.
I gotta look up what my daughter's birthday is.
How did we
So much
forget
is
this?
happening right now.
Oh my God. How did
You
this
know what's
happen?
so funny too? Wait. Let me just explain. When I hopped onto the live earlier, Scott, I said, I'll be there tomorrow. And you were complaining about my days off. And I said, well, it is my birthday tomorrow. So, and then I kid you not, you responded to the comment under mine.
Was it
But
Bill
it's
Livingston?
okay. I was working. No, not quite. I think it was still you that was there.
Oh, I can't. You know what's so funny is last year after I did Chris's cameos, I said, "Hey, you got to help me think of something for Nick and Sarah." Because like Chris's was easy, Kelsey Ray, the Oompa Loompa, and Vince Papali. So I'm like, we've got to come up, and we're like, I think it's in January, so we have to like plan.
You literally had all of January too. I mean,
I said the guy from Outlander.
You did say the guy from Outlander.
If you had, okay, sorry, I had a moment. If that had happened.
Spoiler alert, he's in my room right now.
I'll be right there.
So, okay, hold on. When I text everybody, hey, does anybody have anything this week? Don't you think that would have been a good time to say, hey, it's my birthday this week?
That would have been a good time for me to be like, hey, you're hosting the show that night or something like that. And I was not going to put myself in that path.
You're not on Facebook anymore, like Chris said. So I had no idea. So what are you doing so you're going to Animal Kingdom for your birthday?
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I kind of want to spend money at the Lego store. I kind of want to just go. I literally, honestly want to go to Epcot to ride Guardians of the Galaxy, but I want to request the song that you hate, and I want to figure out a way to do that. That's what I want to do for my birthday.
Ride Rocket.
Everybody wants to roll the world. That's the one you don't like.
It's the
I know,
worst.
and that's the one that I want to, So if I could line that up for my birthday, I'd be super happy.
Okay.
But realistically, I don't know.
Put in earbuds and just hit play when it launches.
It's not the same.
That's a really good idea.
You're welcome. So, okay. I don't know how it works for girls. I know like for me on my birthday, I always get the empty promise of a blowjob. Is there anything that happens special for you for your birthday?
Well, this year, Mother Nature, so that's not happening.
Menopause?
it had a not that yet, thank God. Sometimes it feels like it. It's really hot in here right now, and I was a little angry earlier, but I'm good now.
Wait a second. You guys don't have the sex during Mother Nature?
So can I plead the fifth on that too?
She did say she was going to Animal Kingdom tomorrow.
Straight people do that though. Like,
Straight people do what? Have
during
sex?
period? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to find out right now. I'm
It
not
depends,
allowed,
I guess.
but I also don't have sex when there's no Mother Nature. So
Also, Mother Nature is like a 3 to 5 day thing, so it kind of depends. Just saying.
depends on the flow, depends on the pain, and which day.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct. Yes.
Chris, you want to weigh in?
I've waited enough this week, and I'm not stepping on this. Oh, I thought. No, I'll abstain from this conversation. This is making me sweat. My coworker's about to bring me in some paper towels.
Jaws says in chat, it's safe time.
It's a
I
safe
agree.
time.
I agree. It's safe time. Chat. What do you think? Is it?
I abstain from all activities during.
Like what? And I have
I'm with you, Nick.
questions.
Nick, I'm with you.
Actually, I don't have a question. I just don't. Yeah.
Well, okay. There are some pros.
Essentially,
and-
burrito week. I'm trying to put it in layman's terms. For
Yeah. It's like yeah.
he gets it.
You're
now.
putting it in Gaiman's terms.
Gaming terms.
Listen,
So-
some of us don't care if it's a safe time. I mean, because some of us, had planned for kids, so it doesn't matter. You just do it whenever. You don't even think about it at that point.
Oh, okay. You see, I'm
But
45. I don't need any
Yeah.
more kids. So, okay. So Nick,
You just put a number, Scott.
Yes, it is just a number. There are some pros and cons here. So pros, it's a much more sensitive area for the woman during that time. So the likelihood of
Screaming.
maybe me helping her reach her pinnacle of the experience is higher, more likely. Two, it's safe time.
Unless they
that?
have AIDS.
I know. I was like, what's
It's
that?
like
What's that
super
encompass?
dangerous.
Yeah.
Then it's like,
Is it like 100% like you can't get pregnant, no STDs, or STIs now, whatever that.
Well, I mean, I'm not. having sex with a random during the period.
She could have picked something up on the subway. I don't know.
Off a toilet seat, I've heard.
Yeah.
We don't have subways here.
we know you've seen a few subways or a couple foot long.
I've seen a lot of foot
Scott
longs.
loves that guy from Subway.
Stop.
They had him all over down there.
All right, let's check in with Giles Garman.
And now it's time for The More You Know. And here's your host, Giles Garman.
Giles Garman here, letting you know that on the next episode of Into the Disneyverse, you can hear all about the history of Disney's Fast Pass system. You can hear new episodes of Into the Disneyverse every Monday on all podcasting platforms. That's DIZNEYVERSE. And that's all from me, Giles Garman. You need to wake up, Chris. You need to wake up, Chris. This isn't real, Chris. This isn't real, Chris. This is just a dream. This is just a dream. Chris, you need to stop blaming yourself for the accident. Come on, Chris. Come on, Chris. Chris. Wake up, Chris. Chris. Wake up. This isn't real. This isn't real. This isn't real. This isn't real. You know the truth, Chris. You know the truth, Chris. You know the truth. You know what really happened. What really happened. You know what you did. What you did.
Okay, so you're gonna. He told me you're the only one that's going to appreciate it. I'm gonna need some information.
Well, me and Sophisticated Gentleman have the same really weird sense of humor, and that was just right up my alley. That was a very like we send videos to each other. He watches mine right away. I wait about 6 weeks to watch his, and I take a 45-minute shower and watch all of them. When I'm not talking on the phone with Scott in the shower.
Yeah, my wife was really thrown off guard, by the way.
Really?
So I called Chris because I had something to discuss with him. And I put him on speakerphone because I'm outside. And she's like, is Chris in the shower? And I'm like, yeah, he does that.
I have a soap holder in my shower. It's not used for soap. It's used for my phone. Like it's a 3M thing. Like I put it up there specifically for that. And you put your phone on like in the corner of it, it fits perfectly so that the microphone and speaker is not covered by the soap holder.
Chris,
so that
you can tell him the truth. It was my dick that you put your phone on. It's just holding it up.
It's really sturdy. It is like really sturdy. It's sloped to the right angle.
It's perfect angle for perfect height. It's eye level.
It's eye level.
She says to me, she's like, does he get hard when you guys talk? I said, probably. He's probably touching himself.
It's like off and on, like peaks and valleys type thing. It just happens sometimes. Yeah. It could be or could not be because of Scott. It just happens.
That happens.
We have really intense conversations sometimes, and sometimes the blood just rushes through the body.
All right. So anyway, you were explaining this bit.
Oh, that's about it. There's really no explanation. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, then I feel sorry for you. But
okay. All right. Well, here's a new segment, and if it goes well, I'll get a jingle for it. But it's now time for our sports update with Nick.
Ding, ding, ding. Ding dong. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Sports. So, how about them Panthers? Are they the ones going to the Super Bowl?
Not quite.
Oh. It began with a P.
Keep going.
Philly.
Hey,
Philadelphia.
Thank you. You're getting
That's
close.
where I was born and raised there. Yeah. Pretty familiar.
Were you
with
really?
It. Yeah. I used to play b-ball with my friends, and yeah. And then I got kicked out, got sent out of town for a while. So super exciting. The Super Bowl's coming up.
It is.
Which is the best time to sit and watch commercials. It's the only time I actually watch them.
It is. Who's the halftime this year?
The halftime is a country star. No, rap. R&B?
Yes. Yeah. Rap. You got it.
Didn't we? It's Kendrick Lamar, right?
It is Kendrick Lamar.
Who dated a Kardashian.
That's
Don't
Lamar
think
Odom.
so. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm assuming everybody's dated a Kardashian, so this is one of them. So he's doing. Didn't he do it recently? I thought he did the halftime show.
He had a cameo.
Yeah, that
why is
was
he-
the
why is he there?
weekend. They all look the same.
He's getting
It
a
should
feature
be-
film this time.
It should be. They should just do the halftime shows Wicked. Let's be honest. They would get so much better ratings. I mean, the halftime show is the only reason I've ever really watched it. I mean, if you remember Janet Jackson's nipple popping out.
I do. I paused
favorite.
it, took a screenshot.
I wish I was Justin in that moment, but actually, I wish I was her and just grabbed him back. Yeah. So that's the halftime. The game is between the Philadelphia Eagles. Congrats, Chris. I'm excited for you to play the ball game.
Thank you. That's exactly right.
Okay. So Chris is going to be there. He booked his vacation package through Sandpiper Vacations, which apparently we offer Super Bowl packages now, guys.
Oh,
They'll probably be sold out by the time you listen to this, but we are offering those. We have a company that we work with that's you can pretty much get it for the low cost of like $20,000. We'll do it for you.
oh my God.
The other team that's going to be there is Taylor Swift. How about that? She's back. She was there last year. Like,
She's black?
no.
What?
They
I
don't
thought
allow
so.
diversity anymore.
You threw me off for a second.
Not in Missouri, they don't.
No diversity there. So yeah, so she's going to be performing again.
I heard they're
for
making
the
all their
game.
players go whiteface to the game. I don't know what that was.
I don't know if you can do that either. Pretty sure. That's about all I know about sports. There's guys in striped shirts there. They'll have some cheerleaders, guys in tight pants. So I'm excited.
That's amazing. So Are you going to watch?
No.
No.
I'll get the Cliff Notes version. Like, I don't know. I'd watch for Taylor Swift just to see her, maybe, but I'm not excited about the halftime show.
Oh, I like Kendrick Lamar.
I used to love the halftime shows. Like, they did the big rap one last year. Was it last year with
A couple years ago.
Mary J. Blige or whatever? Yeah. It used to be like our favorite thing. Now it's like, man.
I haven't liked the halftime in quite some time. Like, I think Bruno Mars was the last one that I liked. I liked Bruno Mars. I liked Aerosmith and
Yeah, because Scott was
NSYNC.
like, Bruno Mars looks just white enough.
It's like the halftime show is always geared towards the gays and the women. Let's be honest.
But it's not anymore.
We had Lady Gaga, which was amazing. We
That
had
was a good one.
Black Eyed Peas. They sang live, and everybody freaked out because their audio was bad. And like they actually sang, so give them props. Yeah, it's not the same with straight people, I guess.
Speaking of audio being bad, did anybody see Carrie Underwood at the inauguration?
No, fuck her. Sorry,
Wow.
we don't like her anymore. Sorry,
Neither do
the
I.
gays
But
don't.
her music stopped, or music didn't start. So she just had to sing a cappella at the inauguration. I guess when she went off stage or whatever, she like lost it on people, like screaming and all that. I think it was a setup.
I heard she smashed, took a Louisville Slugger and smashed a couple of headlights.
It's very possible. Very possible. Nick, thank you so much for the sports update. I like this. It's
I'm
just the
excited
tip
to
of
see.
sports.
Yeah. Oh, that's my favorite game to play. Is looking for the tip. Like any sports game, I always look for the tip.
like through the pants.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in football, it's tough because I feel like they all wear cups.
They
No
don't.
one wears a cup.
Oh, no one wears a cup. They just free ball it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they wear jock straps. Half of them.
Yeah, it restricts the running.
But
I mean, have you seen those guys? They're huge. They got footlongs.
Yeah.
Schlongs.
Sarah, do you watch football for the tip?
No, I don't watch football for anything.
I will have to say, there. I used to do ballet, and I used to like watch ballet, and there was a lot of tip going on in those tights, and it was like, how is this appropriate?
How is you doing ballet appropriate?
How is this whole conversation appropriate?
How is anything I say appropriate? Anyway, moving on.
Chris, we need an AI picture of that later.
So, Chris, speaking of the Eagles, what are your Super Bowl plans?
Oh, we're having everyone over here. So during the game, we had my parents over and Emily's mom and stepdad over. And my mom looks at me and she goes, should I have another Super Bowl party? Because back in 2017 or 2018, I guess it was, when the Eagles were in the Super Bowl, my mom had the Super Bowl party. And then when they went back, she had a Super Bowl party. And then she looked at me, she said, oh, should I have another party? I said, no. I was like, absolutely not. I said, Ellie's bed's right upstairs. We can just walk her right upstairs and put her to bed. Because I was like, we have a baby now. We're having it here, which sucks, but is also great because hosting is the worst, but potluck hosting I've learned is very great. You start to complain like, oh, the baby's taking up so much time, not sure what we're gonna be able to get for dinner, and they're like, oh, we'll just buy cheesesteaks for everyone. It's like, all right, yeah, that sounds fair. And so yeah, I've been potluck hosting. I didn't even let my sister over yesterday without bringing something. She's on speakerphone with Emily and I, and she's like, should I bring something? Emily's like, no. I was like, what? It's like, bring some beer. I was like, my mom's bringing salad. We're making. Emily's making ziti. Our parents are bringing dessert. You got to bring the alcohol. So she did, and she was, everybody's got to bring something to the table, right? You can't just come over and play with my child without, empty-handed.
That's brilliant. Brilliant.
Potluck hosting.
Okay, this is the first. I'm sorry. Every time that the Eagles have gone to the Super Bowl, I've rooted for them, except for 2 years ago when I won the Yob playoff pool because I was assigned the Kansas City Chiefs, so of course I had to root for them. But this should be a good one. I think it'll be a fun game.
I wanted the Chiefs. I wanted revenge. I wanted the Chiefs.
You did.
I wanted the Patriots in 2017 to finish the story, and now we have to finish the story against the Chiefs. I'll probably be eating my words, but that's all right. So we never got to talk about this, but what were your thoughts on Saquon sitting out the last game of the season and not going for the single season rushing record? Selfishly hated it, but I understood because if he were to go in there and like sprain his ankle or something,
or tear his Achilles,
anything, it's just not worth it. And if he gets 30 some more yards, he'll have the record for most yards in a season ever, including postseason. He'll beat Terrell Davis's record. And you know what? Who cares? Who cares about a rushing record if you win the Super Bowl? That's the other thing too.
They have rushing records.
Yeah. So ever since 2016, Trump implemented this Russian record, and he held it from 2016 to 2020. Someone on the Eagles trying to get it back. Who cares? Who wants to have a record that lives forever, Yeah, he was pretty upset, you could tell. But I was hoping they would do it. I was having nightmares about it, Scott. I was literally going to sleep and dreaming about the Eagles putting him in and him getting hurt. It was that bad. I was losing sleep over it. Over. Are they going to do it or are they not going to do it? No, they didn't do it. I'm glad because now, look at him last night. Give him the ball and he just does a little spitty thing and just stays on his feet and runs 60 yards into the end zone. Love it.
I love that.
He wouldn't be able to do that if he had a dead Achilles like me.
Yeah. So I do have a fun game, and this is a fun game for just Nick and Sarah.
Okay.
I am going to I'm going to call out football terms, and you guys have to tell me what they mean.
I love this.
Okay.
Oh, Nick's gonna win.
I
have one as well. If you don't use it, because I think this will be a really good one. But go ahead.
Okay. So if you think you know it, actually, you know what? If you think you know it, say your name. Whoever buzzes in first, I'll go to you, and then if the first person doesn't get it right, the second person has a chance to steal.
Okay.
All right. So this is just Nick and Sarah only. Here we go. First one, audible.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The quarterback called an audible.
Is that when they're all hands are on the balls?
Balls.
They're just grabbing a sack of balls.
Did somebody yell something at somebody?
Somebody
does. Close. That's close.
That's very close. So all the balls is what Nick heard. Sarah says someone yells something at somebody. Chris, do you know the answer?
As an audible is, for example, if the quarterback doesn't like what he sees, the play that was originally called, the quarterback calls an audible and changes the play.
Very good. Very good. All right.
Makes no sense, but okay. Sure. Whatever.
We're going to give that point to Sarah. She was the closest.
That was really close. Yeah.
Very close. Okay. Next word, guys. Blitz. Blitz.
Easy.
Okay. Go ahead, Nick.
Drunk. They get drunk after the game. They're like, hey, let's go get blitzed after.
All
Do
right.
they go in two different directions?
Okay, they go in two different directions, or what they drink after the game.
So they're bisexual. Wow.
I'm never going to look at football the same now.
This was a really good idea. Chris, what is the answer?
So a blitz is when somebody, instead of dropping back into coverage, goes and tries to sack the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's not very nice.
All right. This is a tough one because I didn't always know what this was. You ready?
The other ones weren't tough.
Box.
I'm going to text you a term, Scott. All right.
Okay.
I don't know this one.
I mean, it feels literal.
Yeah.
You block somebody in, I guess. Like you box them in? Like you box them in, but by blocking them? I don't know.
Okay.
Do they like ring a little bell and it's like wrestling and they have to box each other type thing to get the ball back? How's that work?
So they box each other.
This is actually a woman's vagina.
That was my second guess.
Chris, what is a box?
A box is the area on the field where a quarterback can look and say, oh, there's this many people in the box. It's a literal box, imaginary box that you have to see how many defenders are in, which is kind of in the center of the hash marks.
There's another line now that they don't show on the TV.
Correct.
Because they show like the yellow line on the TV and it moves and it's confusing.
It's an imaginary box like the one that Scott...
It's essentially the box of protection that the offensive line makes around the quarterback.
Do they put their hands up to their mouth like that too? Because you're like, let's put it in box.
All right. Touchback.
Sarah?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Nick, any guesses for touchback?
Oh, I 100% know this one, actually. So it's when the quarterback is reaching back to snap the ball back to the other guy, but instead he touches his ass.
I love how he touches his ass. It got real quiet. Yeah. Chris, touchback.
Touchback is on a kickoff or a punt when the ball gets kicked into the end zone. The ball gets placed at the 25-yard line.
Very good.
That makes no sense to the word touchback.
All right. Crackback block. Crackback block.
That's when the really hot muscle daddies come out that do the like massages to them. And they're just like rubbing it out on the field.
Sarah?
Sounds more like pool.
Okay.
Like I don't. I hate sports.
Chris, do you know what a crackback block is?
I don't. It's something very different in New Jersey, actually. The crack block?
It's a football term for a type of surprise block. So the wide receiver will line up out wide, then motion closer toward the formation. After the snap, they'll deliver a blindside block to the defender on the edge, allowing the play to move outside.
I watched the movie The Blind Side. And wasn't it all fake too?
That was a good one.
Didn't it come out that they stole all of his money, or I don't even know.
Something like that. Yes. Yeah.
Scott, I'm texting you.
I know. I'm seeing
a
them.
bunch, and just do a couple. But
okay, couple more. Spread formation. Spread formation.
We'll talk about this on the air, Scott.
Is that not just how they line up on the field when you start?
Okay. All right. Nick?
Oh, this is when Beyonce came out to do that Beyonce Bowl, and she snapped in the formation.
Chris, spread formation.
A spread formation is almost exactly how it sounds. It's a formation of football where players are spread. For a lack of a better definition.
Are they doggy style or on all four? Like,
Actually, a little bit of both. Yeah, a little bit of both.
I kind of like this sport now.
So we're going to give that one to Sarah because she essentially got it. All right. End around. End around.
Is that like the human centipede?
Okay, human centipede. Sarah, do you have a guess?
I just picture like one of those moves where they like pull a trick on somebody and run around them.
Okay.
Is that football or basketball? I guess they do it in both. I don't know.
That's a pick in basketball. I know that one.
Oh, I'm impressed. All right, Chris, end around.
End around is a play where a wide receiver will run into the backfield and get the handoff instead of the running back.
A hand job in the backfield.
Hey,
Sounds like
Scott,
a typical day for me.
I have a couple bonus phrases to give them.
Go for it.
So here's a couple bonus phrases. So what would this mean if the commentator said, that hole was so big you could drive a truck through it?
Sounds like the bottom in a glory hole.
Sounds like somebody who's been around the block too many times.
Chris?
So this would mean that the offensive line provided an opening wide enough, very wide, that you could literally drive a truck through it. I'm going to do one or two more. And what would this situation mean if the commentator said, he came from his blind side and nailed him from behind?
Are we still talking about football? I was watching that porno last night. I think it was 2 dudes, 1 cup.
I was gonna vote your night last night, but then you took it.
Last phrase. What would this mean if he found his tight end?
Oh, is that the end of it?
That's
That
it.
was it?
He found his tight end.
He found a virgin.
You could even go as far as saying there could be a situation where he goes deep and finds his tight end.
Oh, it was a twink virgin.
Perfect. Actually, that's perfect.
I think Miranda in chat's got one. And if you want to chat with us, just watch us every week, Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live on YouTube. The coverage sucked.
Defense.
Oh,
very good.
That was good.
Oh.
Pretty much.
I wasn't going to say that, but.
Well, that was super fun, guys. I love that. Just came up with that out of nowhere.
We should.
I just realized how uneducated I am in football.
The funny thing is, I knew none of those. I've heard some, but I didn't know what they meant.
We'll have to. We won't do this every week, but we'll have to around like when when the baseball season starts, or maybe All-Star Weekend for the NBA. We come up with like NBA phrases, Scott.
You're using a lot of acronyms right now.
I love this. Yes.
I saw some other gay ones too that I'll bring back sometime because I know we did the gay.
Yeah, we got to do Gay 101 again.
Yeah.
That was super fun. Yeah.
I saw the list of those too. So we'll get there.
And we have to do the special buzzer that Chris and I did where we have to. Anyway, all right, you guys ready to play Jersey Man, Florida Man?
Yeah.
Yes.
Whether flipping a fan boat or crashing a truck, these states are filled with people who suck. So it's time for us to play New Jersey Man versus Florida Man.
Every week, Game Master Ryan brings us 2 news stories. One is from Jersey, one is from Florida. It is up to us to determine which one is which. Take it away, Ryan.
Hey guys, this is Ryan, your in-the-field news reporter for the Parents Night Out news team, and I am reporting to you live from a house in Ohio where a man is apparently hoarding beef broth like P. Diddy hoards baby oil. We at the Parents Night Out news team have done a little deep dive into this and suspect that the man may be trying to poison his husband, simply known as Gay Nick, in hopes to make him handicapped, thus fulfilling some sick fetish of his. We've also heard reports of a man in New Jersey, Sarah, please don't interrupt, of a man in New Jersey who is smearing baby shit on his face like war paint. His family says it has only improved the smell that he normally has. Now that TikTok has returned after half a day, We have received reports that a man that is perfect for a before picture for the Hims company has resumed his midlife crisis on TikTok. And by mid, I mean the modern interpretation, which means mediocre, which is how his daughter uses the word. Remember when that was a segment? I see he's live now from the Disney parks. Looks like he's standing in front of the gorilla enclosure.
It's happy MLK Day, everybody.
Well, that seems right on brand for him. And lastly, in the world of sports, it sounds like the Eagles have made their way into the Super Bowl. I attended a pep rally in Philadelphia where the mayor had this to say. E-L-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Man, you guys think that North Carolinians can't spell. Anyways, let's get into our Florida man and Jersey man stories. And for our first story, a man has 2 toes amputated after being bit by a venomous spider. And for our second story, a restaurant is apologizing after naming a burger the Proud Boy.
Oh, all right.
So context about the Eagles thing. The mayor of Philadelphia did the Eagles chant and spelled Eagles wrong. And now they're selling T-shirts with the misspelling and everything.
Is that why? I saw cupcakes and it was like
ELGSES.
I was like, that doesn't look like it's spelled right.
Yeah, mayor of Philadelphia.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right.
The
Nick.
South isn't exclusive to bad politics.
All right, Nick, what are your thoughts? You're muted.
All right. So Proud Boys, I feel definitely Florida.
Okay, Sarah?
I think I agree. That's got to be Florida.
Chris?
We have some Proud Boy wannabes in New Jersey, so I'm going to say Proud Boys, New Jersey. They're like semi-Proud Boys.
I'm going Proud Boys in New Jersey as well, because if that was in Florida, they wouldn't apologize.
Ooh,
they would say, you're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, let's find out the answers.
So our first story is from Florida, where a Fort Myers man had 2 toes amputated after being bit by a brown recluse spider. Ooh. I was worried that this might happen to Chris after he found that black widow spider in his yard. Then again, Chris wouldn't have known if he got bit by that spider because he can't feel his toes. We all know why.
Diabetes.
So that means our second story is from New Jersey, where a restaurant in Toms River, New Jersey has received backlash after having a burger named the Proud Boys Burger. For those of you that don't know, the Proud Boys is a far-right neo-fascist military organization that promotes and engages in political violence, which I am totally not a part of. This burger is described as featuring white American cheese, onion ring layers of truth, de-silenced pickles, freedom fries, cancer culture coleslaw, and featuring a Liberty sauce. Since the backlash, the restaurant has pulled the Proud Boy burger and has issued an apology on Facebook. But I have some ideas of what could take the place of the Proud Boy burger on their menu. Maybe you could do a build-the-wall nachos with a nice Joe Biden tapioca pudding for dessert. And in other news from the UK, where a former doctor has been jailed for 5 years and 7 months after admitting that he caused painful and cruelty to children by running a mobile circumcision service. The report says he traveled around the UK performing non-therapeutic male circumcisions, meaning there was no medical reason for the procedure on patients up to the age of 14. One tool had a rusty, serrated edge, while others had not been properly sterilized. Some of his procedures left children screaming in agony. Also, a number of children had to be taken to the hospital. One almost died. Boy, this guy's really cutting corners, huh? I don't think Scott would use this doctor, but I'm pretty sure his vet's last name is Kevorkian, so there's no telling, really. Anyways, that's it for me this week. Back to you guys.
Oh, my God.
So, you know what's really funny is when he said Proud Boys Burger, I'm like, this is probably super South Jersey in the sticks, and it was a town I'm very familiar with for that reason.
Oh, that's funny.
And he wasn't joking. I'm looking at the menu right now, the Proud Boys Burger, white American cheese, onion ring layers of truth, resilience, pickles, freedom fries, cancel culture coleslaw. I think the worst part about this is the white American cheese. I think that's the most offensive part of the ingredients.
So it was definitely as intentional as Elon Musk's Nazi salute.
Wait, I'll tell you what. This place looks like a nice restaurant too.
Oh yeah,
like they shouldn't be selling this.
Chris, you got any cliff notes?
I do.
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day the Chris's Cliff's Notes way.
All right, so we just talked about the Proud Boys Burger, which is absolutely insane. Meanwhile, Scott just charged $1,200 to Rachel's credit card for DoorDash from New Jersey. The Eagles beat the Washington Commanders this weekend, and I think that the only person more excited than me was Scott about this, because he's been telling me for years how much he hates the Redskins.
Oh my God.
Scott said that he's very good at table touching, and by the looks of it, he's great at touching everything else on the table as well. I swear the only reason he works at a restaurant is to sample the menu.
While people are eating it.
Changes every week. Why does the menu keep changing? Scott said that during his embarrassing moment, he froze for 5 seconds and it felt like 5 minutes. Now, Rachel did confirm that he often confuses 5 seconds with 5 minutes. So that's We talked sports with Nick and Sarah, and man, were they confused. I haven't seen someone that confused since Rachel, when Scott said, "It is in." And lastly, we talked about the entertainment on an Australian cruise. I called Nick about it and said that was absolutely disgusting. Scott called Nick about it to book the cruise. And those are my cliff notes.
Thank you so much, Chris. Anybody got anything exciting and fun this week going on?
Oh, you know what? Something happened today. It was pretty funny. I'll have to send you guys pictures. I put it on my Instagram story. But since the Eagles won the NFC Championship, me and my mom went to Dick's Sporting Goods today to get the shirts, the NFC Championship shirts. And it's at the mall here. That my closest Dick's is at the mall. Unless Nick's in town, then it's upstairs. But so we go to the mall and like, let's walk around the mall a little bit. So we get Ellie out. Like, oh my gosh, we forgot the stroller. So we went and sometimes malls have like strollers you can rent. The only stroller they had to rent was like a Jeep, like with a Jeep with handles. Yeah. So it was $12 to rent that. And we're like going and knocking over all these things in stores. We were hitting so many things.
That's so funny.
And yeah, so I'll post a picture in the Discord.
Say any pictures of this.
Yeah, and but she absolutely loved it, and it was I gave her 3 baths when we got home because I'm like, this looks disgusting.
Sarah, any big plans other than the birthday tomorrow?
No, I can't think of anything. I'm still trying to figure out what we're doing for my birthday.
Well, I thought Animal Kingdom.
Well, that was my husband's idea.
Oh.
I mean, I know he's like, I think he's trying to plan something for me, but you know, I'm also, something like that. But I'm trying to be a little selfish too.
Okay. Well, it's your birthday. You should be selfish.
A little bit, at least.
Your birthday is tomorrow, Sarah?
Thanks. Thank you so much for reminding me. No, actually, I found a gray hair today, so I don't want to talk about it.
Oh,
I'm jealous it took this long to find one.
No. It's definitely not the first. Actually, I was really pissed last week because, as we know, my hair is all the way down.
Wow, it is long.
Literally my ass. And I found a gray that was that long.
Wow.
And I was infuriated with myself that it made it that far.
Yeah. Gotta pluck those things.
Yeah.
If I plucked them, I'd be half bald.
Lewis is trying to embrace the salt and pepper, and I am so far from it. I've never dyed my hair or anything, so we're trying to keep away from the grays.
Yeah, white people aren't good at salt and pepper. They don't like the spices.
Nick, you got anything going on with the kids this week?
Between my husband and Piper, you mean?
Yeah.
So we actually just found out that Piper was or is, I guess, the student of the month.
Whoa!
So,
Abby just won that too.
So we get to go to school Friday morning and have a special breakfast. She gets like a T-shirt or something.
Yeah.
What was really awesome on top of that is our neighbor, her best friend Ezra, got student of the month as well too, and my niece got it for the month of January.
Oh, nice!
So
oh my god!
All 3 of them will be celebrating.
Is Piper better?
Obviously.
Better than Ezra?
Obviously, yeah. She's.
You guys are way too young, I guess, to get that reference.
No.
Wasn't there a band better than Ezra?
Crickets.
Oh no.
Ryan Key the Crickets.
It's not 1950s pop culture. I have no idea.
On top of that, we are actually leaving Friday night to go to Florida and going on our Disney cruise this weekend.
Oh, nice!
Shocker. It's my first trip of the year.
Who had the end of January for Nick's first trip?
So we'll be celebrating Sean's birthday's Friday, so we fly to Florida, going on the Disney Treasure on Saturday for a week with my parents. So really excited.
That's very exciting.
Nice. Well, I close 7 out of the next 10 days, so I'm pretty much not getting laid for the next 2 weeks, but
Nothing new.
Nothing new. Just anyway.
What was your excuse for the last 2 weeks?
What does that have to do with the kids, though?
Nothing. I'm not going to see my kid. So, anyway. Nick, where can our listeners find you?
So you can find me on the Instagram at Emotional Support Gay Nick and all social media platforms at Sandpiper Vacations.
Sarah?
You can find me on the TikTok at SuperSarah94 or on the Whatnot at Old Soul Thrift.
Chris?
When I'm not on the dark web uncovering the government secrets, you can find me on Instagram at Chris Yob or TikTok again at Chris Yob NNF. Been posting some TikToks recently.
Alex?
Like my acquaintance Giles Garman said, just search Disneyverse, DIZNEYVERSE on a social media platform. We have recently made a free Discord channel in our Discord server, so join up.
And you can connect with all of us, all of our website, all of our links are right there on our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our sweet merchandise, join our clubhouse, become a Patreon member for just as low as $2 per month. Also, if you listen to us on Apple or Spotify, please leave us a review and a 5-star rating. That really helps us out in the algorithm, and we really appreciate that. And don't forget to check us out on YouTube every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the TikTok every other Monday at theparks.nonewfriends. On behalf of Giles Garman, Game Master Ryan, our producer Alex, Nick, Sarah, Chris, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
See you later, poopy bus.
No new friends, just the old and the bold in the world of